What is the difference between rabbits and hares? One common point of confusion in the animal world involves a bunch of lovable jumpy bunnies. We are, of course, talking about rabbits and hares. Or is it rabbits or hares? Are they separate animals, or is it okay to use the terms interchangeably? That's what we'll be looking at today. So sit back, grab a carrot, and let's talk bunnies. What's up, Doc? When we're talking about rabbits, we are referring to a group of animals in the Leporidae family, under the Lagomorpha order of mammals. All in all, there are 11 leporid genera, which is the plural for genus. Many casual people often refer to all animals within the family as rabbits, and there is hardly ever any confusion. However, about 3 of the 11 genera are specifically referred to as hares. Taxonomy is particularly insistent that animals in the Lepus genus are hares, or at least jackrabbits, despite technically being in the rabbit family. 8 of the remaining genera are exclusively referred to as rabbits. But animal classification is an ever-evolving arena with its fair share of confusing half-contradictions. The term Leporidae is actually Latin for those that resemble lepus, and lepus means hair. Even the order name, Lagomorpha, is an ancient Greek amalgamation of the words lago, which means hair, and morpha, which means form. So, as far as the Romans and Greeks were concerned at least, rabbits can be defined as small mammals that resemble hares. Rabbits and hares used to be grouped among rodents, but a few exclusive traits led to their reclassification as lagomorphs. One trait is the incisor teeth. Unlike true rodents, lagomorphs have 2 pairs of upper incisors. Rodents only have 2 upper incisors. The term rabbit comes from the Middle English word rabbet, which is also borrowed from Middle Dutch. Today, there are up to 40 rabbit species, including 13 wild species and 27 domesticated species. On the domesticated side, selective breeding has resulted in the emergence of hundreds of rabbit breeds. Rabbits, like all leporids, are characterized by their unique morphology, which includes large hind leg bones for their characteristic hopping. When at rest, a rabbit's hind legs are plantigrade, which means the foot is planted flat on the ground. When in motion, the hind legs digitigrade, which means an animal moving on its toes with the rest of the foot raised. The bulk of a rabbit's musculature is in the rear legs, which need to generate as much force as possible for accelerating and jumping. The hind legs are key to these animals' survival because they provide the pace and agility required to evade the wide range of predators that love the taste of rabbit. Rabbits typically have soft fur of varying colors. The wide range of colors is, however, mainly a result of selective breeding by humans over the years. Wild rabbits generally have brown to gray fur and, in many cases, pale fur on their underbellies. This neutral coloration aids in their camouflage. The setup of rabbit eyes also points to their status as prey animals. Unlike predatory mammals, which have forward-facing eyes, rabbits have eyes on the sides of their heads. This gives them an almost 360-degree view of their surroundings at all times. After all, you never know when sneaky foxes or cats will try their luck. Funnily enough, a rabbit's only blind spot is straight ahead. Leporids are also characterized by their often prominent ears. Hearing plays an equally huge role to sight. A rabbit can usually hear you long before it can take a sideways gander at you. Naturally, this super hearing is priceless for evading predators. Ears also play a role in thermoregulation. Wild rabbits and hares in hotter parts of the world tend to have relatively larger ears than wild rabbits adapted to cooler climes. This is because the greater a rabbit's ear surface area, the better the ears are at dispersing heat. Rabbits in cold climates, therefore, do not need to lose so much body heat and have developed smaller ears. Biologists also suggest that since sound travels further in cool air, rabbits in cool temperate regions don't need large ears as much as those in hot regions. The warmer the air, the less efficiently sound travels through it. Rabbits also tend to have smaller ears than hares. Rabbits, wild and domestic, are found in most parts of the world. Wild rabbits can live in a wide range of environments, from woodlands, grasslands, mountains, wetlands, and even deserts. Many species live in underground shelters called burrows. When rabbits are grouped as part of a colony, they may connect their burrows to form warrens, underground labyrinths of tunnels. A few other species nest above ground. Rabbits have a long-running relationship with humans that stretches thousands, if not tens of thousands of years. We have hunted them since time immemorial and have domesticated and selectively bred them since the Middle Ages at least. Humans primarily harvest rabbits for their meat and fur. They are a common form of livestock because they don't require much space, are relatively affordable to rear, and reproduce quickly. We also have domestic rabbits bred for life as pets. Rabbits are adorable little munchkins that can provide many warm and tender moments to any loving family. A pet wabbit is a request that almost every parent has had to deal with at least once or 1,000 times. Rabbits also play big roles in human culture, whether as symbols of fertility in traditional cultures or in the hunter-thwarting icon Bugs Bunny. Rabbits are everywhere. They feature in religion, folktales, and art, which reflects our never-ending fascination with them. Now, hares share much of the same characteristic traits that rabbits have: long hind legs, long ears, eyes on the side of the head, and so on. This is because hares face similar circumstances to their lagomorph cousins. They need to stay hypervigilant, the ability to make a mad dash for safety at less than a moment's notice, and the need to breed and regenerate quickly. They are also herbivorous and rely on grass and various leaves, vegetables, and herbs. Animals in the Lepus genus are often called true hares because hare is used interchangeably with rabbit in several leopard species. The best way to describe hares is as rabbits on steroids because they take common rabbit traits and ramp them up to 11. Perhaps that's why they're also called jackrabbits. Hares are found in various wildlands and urban zones on all major continents, except Antarctica. They are tough, smart, and highly adaptable. Like rabbits, hares have super long hind legs for insane speed and direction changes. These rascals are wickedly fast, and they can maintain speeds of 35 miles per hour. Their legs are much longer than any wild rabbit species, and their muscles are far leaner and fibrous. This makes them far superior to rabbits in terms of peak athletic performance and endurance. Hares also have highly tuned senses. Hearing and eyesight are all made for avoiding predators. Camouflage also plays a major role. From the agouti brown-gray of the woodland American hare to the snow-white fluff of the Arctic hare, blending in is a must. There are 33 species of hare all over the world, and all of them are wild. There are no domesticated hares because these animals have an untamable spirit. Hares also figure prominently in culture, old and modern. They are popular in most major media, and they've inspired numerous works in various art forms. In many cultures, they feature in folk tales highlighting the animal's incredible physical abilities, cleverness, and daring. The story of the tortoise and the hare has been told on all continents for at least a few thousand years. Of course, despite the great similarities between hares and rabbits, there are a few marked differences we need to look at. Hares versus rabbits differences. So just how do these animals differ? Well, for starters, hares are generally larger than rabbits. European hares weigh between 4.4 and 11 pounds, compared to the European rabbit's 2.6 to 4.4 pound weight range. As far as body length, hares can be up to 27.5 inches from nose to tail, while wild rabbits max out at about 15.7 inches. Most subarctic hare species lean toward red-brownish coats with whitish underbelly fur. Rabbits have a grayish-brown coat and don't always have pale bellies. Hare species in the northern hemisphere can also change color with the seasons. They go from reddish-brown in the summer to white in the winter. Rabbits do not have seasonal fur and remain the same color their entire lives. They also have different profiles. Rabbits have a round egg shape, and their backs are arched prominently when resting. Hares, on the other hand, have a more upright posture than rabbits, similar to cats or dogs. This is because hares have relatively longer front legs than rabbits, allowing for a more balanced look. This balance also extends to gait. Though capable of hopping and jumping better than rabbits, hares can also run straight like most four-legged animals. This allows hares to attain much greater speed. The two animals also differ socially. Hares are generally solitary or, at most, live in pairs when out of breeding season. Rabbits are more social and usually form colonies with up to 20 individuals. Rabbits are clear believers of safety in numbers, while hares find it easier to avoid detection when moving solo. Then there are the residential differences. Unlike most rabbits, hares live above ground full-time. They set up in bushes, grass nests, and depressions in the ground known as forms. Rabbits usually live in underground burrows and warrens. Warrens are especially handy because they have multiple entrances and many tunnels to confuse pursuers. The different home lives have also led to differences in how young develop. Born exposed to the unforgiving outside, Baby hares, known as leverets, have no time to waste. Within hours of being born, leverets can utilize their senses, interpret their surroundings, and most crucially, they can run. Baby rabbits, called kits, are born blind and helpless. Rabbits can afford this style of reproduction because of the security provided by their warrens. However, the kits grow pretty quickly and are soon ready to reproduce themselves. Despite growing up faster than wild rabbits, hares live longer. A hare can live up to 12 years, compared to a rabbit's 9-year maximum life expectancy. However, these animals rarely reach half of these lifespans because of heavy predation by man and beast. That said, hares have an average life expectancy of about 4 years in the wild, while most wild rabbits don't even make it to a year. This speaks to the hare's superior senses and athleticism.